Listen, people. This one goes out to all my 20-year-olds out there. This is a message for you. You don't have to have your life together right now. You don't have to have your life together the way that society says you have to have it together. You don't have to live up to these expectations that society puts on you. These aren't your expectations. You don't have to accept them. You don't have to have your career chosen by 21, by 25, by 27. You don't have to have a significant other and a house and your whole life figured out when you're 20. So many people are out here living with limitations that aren't their own limitations. It's limitations that society and other people have been putting on them, like their family or their friends. It's just like, why? And we think that because we were born into this world, we gotta follow everything that everybody thinks and everyone's opinion and the majority opinion about life, and the truth is, you don't. You don't have to listen to any of it. People are gonna call you weird, people are gonna call you insane. Who cares? As a society, we like to think that because we're a certain age, we must complete certain tasks by a certain time, because if we don't, we're looked at as failures and like we don't have it together, we don't know what we're doing, we're never gonna make it anywhere. Stop listening to all of that, whether it's coming from your mom, your dad, or even yourself, family, friends. Just make the commitment now to yourself and stop listening to that shit, because truthfully, it's all a lie. It's all made up by society. You just don't have to accept it. It's all a lie. And truthfully, it doesn't matter. At any age, you can choose yourself. You could choose to be happy. You could choose a different career. You could choose a different passion. At any age, you can explore something that you've never explored before. It doesn't matter how old you are. I experience a lot of frustration about this topic because so many of my friends are going through this, and I've been through this too. I've been a victim of my own mind, thinking I'm a failure because I'm living with my parents again, and I have 2 jobs that I don't believe I'm going to work for the rest of my life. Well, I know I'm not going to work for the rest of my life. So they're not really careers. I just got a car. I'm 21. I dropped out of school. So I've been a victim of this too, of my own mind, feeling like I'm a failure. But you know what? That gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere if you think you're a failure. It's just not true. It's really not true. At any point in your life, you can decide to change something. And I said this goes out to my 20-year-olds just because all of my friends have been going through this. I've talked to so many 20-year-olds who feel like depressed and they're a failure because they don't feel like they're living up to what society sees as 20-year-olds, the expectation of 20-year-olds. And a lot of this comes from our parents. And I believe that our parents say these things to us because they are a different generation. They come from a generation of hard work and doing shit that needs to be done even though you're not happy, but staying with it because it's comfortable and it's stable and it pays the bills. But you have to understand that these are new times. This is a new generation, and you are a part of that new generation. This generation understands that happiness is more important than anything in the world, and loving your life and enjoying it. And you know, that's the whole point of life, is to enjoy it and feel it and experience it. And I think it's very important to understand that, because it can be really, really hard when your mom or your dad or friends are telling you that you're too old to be searching for your career, you're too old to be putting your time into hobbies that you love. Understanding that can really help. It's really upsetting to see, because some people really let that affect them, and you can't let that hold you back from life. It's really sad that people actually let the things that people say and societal constructs hold them back from what they want to do in life. Because people, seriously, you only have one life. And it would be such a shame for you to not go after what you want because society says that you should be doing something else, or your mom says you should be doing something else. Don't listen to that shit. Cut it all out right now. Thank them for their opinion and just move on. To me, your 20s, well, your 20s can be whatever the you want them to be about, but for me, it's about learning about yourself and exploring the world and enjoying it. And that's it. That's all it needs to be about. You don't have to have these crazy expectations for your 20s because age is just a number and we're all on different paths in life. It's stupid for people to think that we should all be following the same path. And that's where unhappiness comes in because everybody thinks that you should be doing this, should be doing that. I completely cut should be out of my vocabulary, or at least I'm still in the process of doing that. Sometimes I say it, but it's all about switching it to I want to do this. I want to go to the gym. I want to pursue yoga. I want to do this. Instead of saying you should, and then it feels like an obligation. And most of the time when you say I should be doing this, it's not coming from inside and what you want to do. It's coming from the external and what other people think you should be doing. So just cut that out of your vocabulary. You're allowed to explore life. You're allowed to see what life has to offer and then make a decision. Or don't make a decision. Life isn't about finding a career and finding money. Yes, you need it to survive, but that's not all life is about. And we're going to start doing what we want. It's not 2019 yet, but why don't we start these last few months off with a new mindset, a 2019 mindset where you just go after what you want, do what you want, and it can be hard to get over the negative opinions of others, I'll be honest. Sometimes they do affect me, and you're not a bad person for letting something affect you. You just gotta understand where it's coming from, and in the end, not let it affect what you want to do. We're done settling. Stop settling. I see so many people settling for situations that they don't like, and then that's only gonna lead to unhappiness. If there's someone in your life that's telling you that you should be doing this, you shouldn't be that, you shouldn't be following your dreams, you should have a real career that actually earns you money, they're most likely saying that because there was a time in their life where they wanted to pursue their dreams and they wanted to go after what they wanted, and someone told them, their friends, their mom, their dad told them that it's not realistic. You just need to go out and get a career that makes you money and then you'll be good. And that's what they did, and now they're unhappy. So they are telling you, stop going after your dreams, and here's this career that's just gonna make you money and get you by, and you'll be good. Because that's what they did. And they didn't have the courage to follow their dreams, and they didn't have it inside of them to ignore other people. And that doesn't make them a bad person. You just have to understand that they think they're helping you, and they're trying to put on what somebody else put onto them, even though they're unhappy about their lives. And it's really important to understand that this advice that people give you about you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, don't follow your dreams, is coming from someone who is probably unhappy. So why take to heart what someone who's not happy with their own life is saying to you? You know, if it's someone close to you and you care about them, you don't want to cut ties, maybe say something like, I appreciate your opinion, and that could be the end of it. If it's someone, maybe it's someone who does need cut out of your life, and there you go. There's the door, close it. But it's just, you can get really, really sick from repressing your passions. You really can. And truthfully, Sometimes it could come up as things like cancer and chronic illnesses. There's actually a book, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in the video, about how our emotions, our negative emotions, can translate into physical illnesses. And that's one of the things, when you don't go after what you want and you settle and you're not following your heart and your passions, you can get really, really sick. So that's just another reason to get the out there and go do what you want. So if someone is inside your head, if you're inside your own head telling yourself that you should have it all figured out and you're a failure, this is a sign for you. It takes time, it's a process, but educate yourself and start doing everything that benefits you and your happiness, and it'll become easier with time. Just ignore the opinions of other people. Because deep down, you know who you are, you know what you're going after, you know your vision, nobody else has to know any of that.